United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to Straight Talk. Well, today Straight Talk is going to go back into its trade of promoting something that's going to be a benefit to the African community. I said African community. I didn't say African American. African community. Now, our guest today, which is every Monday, but he's been absent, on leave of absence for a little while because of his wife. His wife put him on leave of absence.
That's right, she did.
Reverend and Mrs. Williams.
Great honor.
Anthony and Joy.
Hello there.
Great honor.
Oh.
Blessed holidays to everyone.
Happy to be here. Glad to see you again.
Now, you guys can't stay away that long anymore, right?
No,
Okay.
we can't.
Okay.
And we won't.
And when you come and I'm not here to start the show.
Well, okay. We'll remember that. Do I get to sit in your chair?
You get to sit right in my chair. In fact, you want to change chair now?
No, that's okay. Next time, though. How about that?
Well, the most important thing is you guys are here now. Let's talk about what is happening in the city of Chicago and what can we do to help it.
Okay.
You know, it's not just the city of Chicago now for us at this point. It's all over the country.
I agree.
And we got talk show hosts, and I must say, some are very good friends of mine on radio, television, podcast, talking about Trump. Republican. Man, what, you know, this is politics. Okay, you're not voting for a party, you vote for a person. Find out what this person is about. Put your brains in effect instead of your booty. Put your brain in effect. Let your brain tell you exactly what this, first off, you read the Constitution. Once you read the Constitution, you run around talking about, well, we got to get rid of we got to get rid of Trump. If you read the Constitution, you know you can't get rid of Trump. You didn't put Trump in.
That's right. But you know what, WL? And that's all this, we connect all this together. I had a very healthy experience today. Very healthy experience. I was at the gas station. I went to the gas station to get something. There was a young man walking in and said, I need some help with some change. Well, normally, I'm very discreet in terms of I'm going to give you some help. But I gave him, I said, what you need? He said, I took out he said, I need 50 cents. So I took out a handful of change, right? But I had more than 50 cents. I said, take the 50. They took the 50 cents, so we started talking. So he introduced himself, we talked. I said, where you from? He said, well, from the south side of Chicago, out here in the southern suburbs. He said, I was raised in the DCFS system. So I said, I'm a former social worker, so I understand what's happening. He said, yeah, you understand what's happening. So, we got to talking. So I said, I just want to just encourage you to recognize, man, the greatness in yourself. And we chatted back and forth, and his arm was in a sling, because apparently he had been injured. Mm-hmm. And his pants was down, of course.
Not me.
I made up my phone. It's not me. It's not your phone.
It's not here, period. We don't hear it.
But anyway, in our dialogue, I noticed he had a sling, and his pants was down. And so I took the liberty of saying, hey, brother, pull your pants up. He wiggled his arm out that sling because he was injured. Truly had an injury. And then he grabbed the other side and he pulled his pants up. And he went on about his business. He went back into the store to purchase whatever he wanted to purchase. And there was a middle-aged black man cleaning the facility. And he said, man, I saw you was talking to that young brother and you got him to pull his pants up. I said, look, man, it's just a matter of how you talk to people. I said, he has made my Christmas. I said, the greatest gift I can get, I had a chance to talk to him, because if I never see him again, we connected, WL. He wasn't the conversation. He said, I needed to hear that, what you said to me. He said, I needed to hear that. And his eyes brightened up. You didn't see the gloom and doom. His whole energy changed. And it's the whole thing of giving back. I mean, that's what you really tell. I mean, this is what you've been doing all your life. Anytime you've been able to sustain what you've been able to sustain, you could have, you could have gone into so-called retirement a long time ago in terms of what you accomplished in your life. But the fact is that for me, I have learned it is better to give than receive, because what happens, so much more comes back. I mean, when you give with pure motive, when you give unselfishly. The conversation that I had with this young man, he gave me something. And what he gave me was a ray of hope. I mean, he displayed, I could see his greatness in him. And I was telling him, WL, about his greatness. He recognized, he looked at me, why would he be telling me something about himself? And it was just, he needed to recognize his greatness that was within him. And after we got through talking, he stood tall and erect, because he was about 6 feet, but he was bending over. He stood up, and then he pulled his pants up. WL, do you know how wonderful that was, man? Do you know how wonderful that was, man?
Okay, we're going to come back and find out how wonderful that was. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back after these messages with how great it was.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Let's do those Pearly Whites, man. Yeah! The boys, check it out.
Stand up to my chair, it's gonna
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy.
Today Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Stoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees.
Every now and then I get that feeling, and I've got something I want to say.
One of the great things about being a vegan is that the uniqueness of it.
And I've got to say it my way.
So gathered with me today are just a sampling of those vegans who have become loyal supporters of Soul Vegetarian.
Welcome to Soul Vegetarian Restaurant.
She followed him to his car. He drove to the suburban area. Telling a story, you guys. You got to keep up with me. Drove him to the suburban area, and they followed him all the way there. She and her camera person, and pulled into a driveway where there's a big mansion sitting there. And he went in through a side door. She went to the front door and knocked on the door. I rang the doorbell. And the guys, you know, you're filming her doing this, right? And his wife came to the door and she recognized Pam Zeckman and slammed the door and went back in.
Yeah.
And Pam Zeckman turned around and said, "Therein goes your philanthropic dollars. Keep your money in your pocket because you never know who you're giving to. Give it to a charity, and charity knows who to give it to."
Well, those are professional panhandlers. But then
Most of them are.
But then some of these charities are just as bad too.
Yeah.
You know, they've had many complaints against
What's the biggest?
Red Cross.
That's the biggest crook out here.
Yeah.
That's the biggest crook out here.
You know, I know. For example, when that emergency, still got a problem in Flint. When what we did, I bypassed the Red Cross and went directly to the people with the water.
With the water, yeah.
I don't need Red Cross doing nothing for me, because a lot of times that stuff ain't even getting there. You got some type of surtax on it, there's an attachment with that. So, but in the case that I have, and I talk about this whole concept of giving.
The president has to keep his $1 million a month going.
Oh yeah. But the experience I had talking about the young man was at the fact that he gave me something.
But see, you found a good deed. You know, I came up off the expressway on the Congress Expressway at Central. There was a guy standing there with a gas can. He stopped. He was stopping cars. So I'm the police. So I stopped to see what I could do to help him. He said, "Sir, my car is out of gas." That's it, on the expressway. It was a car down there with the hood up. And he said, "If you lend me enough money to buy enough gas to go, give me your telephone number and I'll call you and I'll pay you your money back." I gave him $10 and gave him my telephone number and left. Went to my house and got a call right away to come back, come back to the south side or something. And I can't remember what it was, but because when I went back down that street, this guy was still standing there with that cane.
Yeah.
I went over to him and put him up against the wall, searched him, and he must have had about 20 telephone numbers, with money attached to it.
Yeah.
So I just took all the numbers and all the money and called these people and gave them their money back.
Yeah.
And told them, if I catch them out here again, I'm locking you up.
Yeah.
Wow. That's too bad.
Huh?
So that's really too bad.
Yeah. You want to help people, but then you never know if you're helping someone or if you're hurting yourself.
Right.
Well, the bottom line is that that's where discernment comes in. I think, and it doesn't matter, is that you can tell when people are sincere and when they're insincere, and then sometimes it really doesn't matter. You felt like doing it, so you did it. But the bottom line is, you see some people, they're consistently where they're at every day, are they in a particular place, and those are professional panhandlers. I had a situation where
professional thieves.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. I had a situation where I would probably never see this young man again, because the place that I went to, I don't frequent it that much. But I went there, and I met this young man, and we had this conversation, and I saw him in injury take his arm out of a sling and pull his pants up. And what he gave me was a ray of hope. So I talk about this whole concept of giving. You don't have to give anybody physical dollars, but you can give them your smile, you can give them a kind word, you can give them a listening ear. Giving is not dollars and cents. In this season of Advent, the whole concept in the Christian doctrine about the birth of Christ is based on John 3:16. Right. For God so loved the world. He didn't say he loved Christians. Interesting context. He didn't say he loved Christians, he loved Jews, he loved black, he loved whites. For God so loved the world that he gave. And that's powerful. That God gave. Well, hold up, God gave a lot. Here God is he continues to give Give us all these attributes, WL. Give us all these talents. Make us dominion, and we can't give to our neighbors. Just little small things.
Well, see,
That could be just courtesy, being courtesy.
What God did was gave every human being his spirit.
Right.
And if you're not using that spirit, it's not his fault. It's not our fault.
Right.
Okay, now with you and I both, and well, all of us have a responsibility to explain to people what they should do, how they should do it. You know, I've gone through so much. I've seen so many different things as police officer, as all kind of things. Had a preacher's wife tell me once.
I want to hear this story.
You were there. You were there.
Oh, yeah.
She said, "Oh, Reverend Lillard, when are you going to come back and preach for us again? We haven't seen you in 3 months." And I said, "Well, you have to. I said, your husband has to invite me. I can't just come and preach." And his name was Lowe.
Yeah.
She said, "He knows he better call you to come in and do some preaching. I'm tired of those low kind of preaching." I said, now you're trying to get me beat up by your husband. He's a little bigger than I am.
In my opinion, the greatest thing that you could possibly give is time. And I say that because time you can't get back.
Right.
So if you're willing to give your time, whether it is volunteer work or just like as my husband was saying, just giving somebody an ear or a smile, I think time is by far the most generous gift that you can give anyone.
I don't know. I saw a house burn, well, not burned down, but burned, catch on fire and destroyed a lot of, things in the house. Later, a bed was destroyed, refrigerator. I couldn't do anything to replace all that stuff for her. So she had children that she had to take care of.
That's just generous.
It's in your heart.
That's right.
To, like they say, give back.
Yeah.
That's right.
W, we had a case in point. Normally around this time of the year, since I've been in ministry, I'm always, looking, children don't want to hear no discussion about Christmas, doctor. They looking for something. I don't care what they are. Children into Christmas, you know that, right? Child don't want to hear what your philosophy is. They don't want to hear what your theology is. What's under that tree?
Right.
Do you have something for me for Christmas? It's an American holiday, right? So I'm like, I gotta get something for these children. I said, Lord, usually I'm kind of straight,
You know what I tell my children?
Not that.
Here, take this little money, wait until after all this holiday stuff is over and go buy what you want to buy.
That's true, but something else went beyond that. A black business man gave me a call, Jason Roberts, at Advantage Toyota.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be our keynote speaker at the event that will be honoring you. You got the text, right? For 11th of January. I'll send it to you again. Don't worry about it. I'll send it to you again. Our Martin Luther King business brunch. He's going to be our keynote speaker. Advantage Toyota is in Calumet City, River Oaks.
Right.
Right across the street from.
Oh, no, 159th.
Yeah, right across the street from, yeah. So he called me, said, look, you got some children in church, and this is what I said, well, they'll be, I'm expecting, the same old thing they usually do. They give me a few toys, but he did a little bit something different. He gave things that were more tangible than toys. He was, had brand new, whatever clothing item, coat, shoes, those type of things. And you should have seen the wonderful items that he gave the children.
Yeah, the
now
quality.
Children like name brand stuff. You better not talk about giving no child no Payless shoes and stuff. It's a lot like what the majority of them. that have been, because the system commercializes them like that. They were Old Navy coats. What's them boots they wear?
Uggs.
Uggs. Now they was telling me about Uggs. You know about Uggs, WL? No. Joy and my niece were telling me about Uggs. Now Joy got a pair of Uggs too that she want me to clean too. I'm gonna get around to them. But these Uggs cost so much. They boots, women boots, about between $100 and $170.
Yeah, some of them are $250.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be the best of the best as far as warmth.
Yeah,
I know, right?
But WL, WL.
It does have a very
I'm tripping too when I hear about these Uggs, and I look at the quality of that boot, and I'm looking at the quality of those coats. I'm looking at the quality of what he did. It was just an event of quality, reflective of that owner. He just didn't pull them in there and, they were in, they were out. If you were on that list of names that he'd asked from various parts of the black community, because he primarily came to the black community and quietly giving out wonderful coats, shoes, and boots for children. Talking about giving back. Now, I know he's in the business of selling cars, but I saw a businessman go beyond the call of duty in terms of what you normally do around Christmas. They give you some ham and eggs and a turkey, but no, something. That toy, that child will play with that toy one day, and after that, the toy is broke or put away, and it loses interest. But that coat, they'll put that coat on every day.
Oh, that's something they need.
They'll put those Uggs on every day.
That's need versus want.
Yeah.
That's something, he took it up quite a bit. He took it up a level by getting name brand things. But at the end of the day, children need coats for the winter, and they need shoes to walk with. So I think that they took it to a whole nother level. My experience being there is, the people that were actually doing the bagging up. I think it was a business manager. I can't remember their names. I think one of the young ladies' name was Charnice or something like that. They were there all day, and they were telling me how rewarding it was to do that, even though they were exhausted, because they had so many kids. They had the luncheon. They had like the little play area for the kids to play, and the little tiny toys there for the kids to kind of stay busy while the parents and everything were getting their coats and things like that together. So it was in my opinion, it was a very, very nice event. And I think their entire attitude just that they had about giving and showing how rewarding it is for everybody just to give. They actually enjoyed doing the work, and they had a lot of work.
Right. Oh, they did.
They had a lot of work.
And to see a young black man with that type of commitment was powerful.
Entrepreneur.
Powerful. And he was serving the people. He had, if you were a vegetarian, they said, here, go over and get salads. They had lunch too. They had a luncheon.
Yep.
And they had whatever your dietary needs were. He had it right there. And to look at this young man to see, and business was still being conducted.
Yes.
At the place. They were selling cars. But I humbly saw this young man giving back. And so, you can give back in many ways. You can give back in knowledge. There are some people that you love to be around because they're wealth of knowledge, and they give knowledge in a powerful, productive way. So we can give in many ways. And I think, we are prone, particularly in Western culture, to be as selfish as we possibly can, to be as narcissistic as we possibly can, to be as self-centered as we possibly can. But ultimately, you will find as you go through the journeys of life that the more you give, the more you receive. So if I give to WL and expect something back from WL, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. Mm-hmm. That ain't how they go. It never works from that way. It works from another way. So just the giving of oneself, just in a relationship, WL.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to give. You know, I mean, now, a lot of people that watch this show don't know how much you give and put into this in order that we can have a free voice.
Mm-hmm.
A free voice. See, this is another form of get a free voice, because there's a lot of places where you can't come and have this kind of conversation.
Right.
This is not a political conversation we're having. This is a conversation that we're talking about a spirit of giving, a conversation on giving, the importance of giving, and giving your best. In life, you should give your best to life. You should give your best to your life.
Yeah.
Just give.
Another thing you can do too that I think is really, really a form of giving is giving anonymously. Okay, you give anonymously, then you are truly a giver, and that's coming from the heart. I can recall a few years back, I was in the drive-through and I was getting an order, placing an order, and the person in front of me paid for said, here, whatever she gets, I'm paying for everything that she gets. So when I got there, placing my order, getting ready to give the money, the guy said, oh no, the person in front just paid for whatever you're getting. So actually they had to put in a little bit extra and leave it there in order to pay for my stuff. So I always thought, wow, that always kind of stuck in my mind, that story of, that particular incident that occurred with me. And that was in Dallas, by the way, when I was living up there. It's about maybe 4 years.
Dallas seems to be a pretty good place to live, to a point.
To a point.
If you can stay away from the police.
Now here, man, look here. I went to school in Texas. I don't want no part of Texas.
Yeah, I went to school there too.
I go through Texas and come out of Texas.
Yeah.
Because as a northerner, somebody growing up in the north and going into they don't call themselves the South. That's the Southwest. But it was just a whole different cultural vibe for me. It's like being in Twilight Zone. Culturally different, totally different. I come down to Texas, I'm 20 years old, and I'm like, wow, this is real different.
Much different now.
Yeah, it's much different now, but this is 1970s, no. When I enrolled, I was going to graduate school.
Mm-hmm.
So they say, we got a lot of Yankees coming down here. What the hell are you talking about? A lot of Yankees coming down here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, man?
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is, my first experience with Juneteenth was interesting because it was down in Texas.
Yeah.
And they big on Juneteenth.
Very big.
But I don't want to do anything but go through Texas.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
lived there for 10 years, and I think my mindset, being so liberal and kind of diverse, it was a little bit of a challenge. But I have to say, I met some of the best people of my life there. I still have really good friends there. Just beautiful people inside and out, that I have from there. And I have 2 really good friends from Louisiana, and they're from the South too. So, I think it's just a matter of where you are. I think corporate-wise, it was a little bit of a challenge for me because I'm kind of outspoken and, kind of direct. Yeah. So I think in the corporate world, I think they could be a little bit passive-aggressive. Just some of the behaviors that I saw.
Well, see, we listen to radio,
right?
Talk show hosts,
right?
We watch TV, talk show hosts. They have a responsibility to enlighten us instead of jiving us the way they do, pretending that they believe that Trump can be convicted, he can be thrown out. We could vote him out. We got to vote hard. We got to vote hard with the Democrats. They, actually people believe that. They hear a talk show host. He's knowledgeable, educated, and indoctrinated. But they don't know about the indoctrination.
And giving the wrong information. That's why I go
That's
back
all
to this
wrong,
whole
right.
concept. You know what? The power of get interested. I mean, think about the whole concept. It is better to give than to receive. And this is what Jesus said. It is better to get what? Hold up. What am I getting out of it? That's what the first person say. What am I getting out of it? You're gonna get more than you gave by giving. So you give out in anything. A relationship or anything. You reap what you sow. What you give out, you get back.
Yeah.
And so you people, you saying these people are putting information out here, and so we are not even at the table. I mean, the average citizen is not even at the table as decisions are being made for the country. They give us the information that they want to give us, but because of the freedoms that you've been able to have this media, using the power of the fourth estate, using this media, we're able to give another message. Because people give out one message and people get locked in because it's a popular host. I don't care whether the host be black or white or whatever, but when you're giving out bad information, that hurts the people. And you know, in this town of Chicago and around the country, many of our talk show hosts, they give out bad information. They don't offer solutions.
For instance, the Constitution clearly says, succinctly, because the American people may not be sophisticated enough to elect the right person to the office of president, what?
Electoral college.
We have the Electoral College to straighten it out.
And they want to change
and people, okay, now, Trump lost by almost 3 million votes. But the Electoral College put him in. And people, well, see, we should have voted a little harder and got more votes. 3 million. If you can't win with 3 million, you're not going to win with 10 million. But it's not going to be that many. But see, they couldn't do that with Barack. They couldn't do that with him because it would have been a race ride. They invigorated the people, got the people. They brought a lot of folks. I went to the first meeting in Springfield when he was making the announcement that he was running for president. I went there. Springfield was packed. Not the halls. I'm talking about the streets. You had to squeeze through the streets to get around in Springfield. I said, wow, man, that's people from all over the country.
You're looking at history.
Yeah. But this,
you witness history.
Guess what? When it was cold, man. It must have been about 20 below zero. And we were out there in the cold. And I was standing next to these two ladies from St. Louis, two white girls. They were news people as well. And I said, man, I hope Barack hurry up and come out and make his speech, and don't make it too long. Say something short so we can get out of this cold. We were standing in the cold. Both of those women jumped all over me. What do you mean you wanted me to hurry up? I don't care how long he speaks. I just want to hear him. I just want to hear his voice. I said, wow, they both attacked me from where I said, hey, ladies, forgive me.
Yeah.
I said, if I get in the cold, I'll leave. If I could walk.
Yeah.
No,
Go, I'm sorry.
No, I was thinking, I wanted to share a story about giving again. I was just thinking about it. I can remember a time when I lost my job, okay? And when I lost my job, it was the first time I'd ever lost a job. So I was just like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do, So at that time, I was really, really, really deep into church. Like really, really deep. My faith was so strong. And regardless of the fact that I had lost my job, I started tithing like you wouldn't believe. Like just tithing, and making sure that I was tithing. Everything that I had, whether it was, wherever I got money from, I made sure that I tithed. And when I look back on that, look back on the fact that I was tithing well, I had more money saved up. I was able to do everything that I possibly needed to do in my family. I mean, my daughter at the time, she was young, she was in cheerleading, and of course, you're out of work, so you're worried about everything, and it was like $800, and I was sitting there like, my daughter was like, Mom, are you having a panic attack? And, because I was so worried about her, being able to play. But the bottom line is, because of the situation, I couldn't see past what God had given me just from being obedient and tithing like I was tithing. And so I like to share that story. I mean, primarily because, we're in church right now at Eveline Park Community Church. And one of the things that we're really trying to remind everybody about is the beauty of tithing, okay? The beauty of it. And so I just wanted to share that. I just, since we're talking about giving and receiving and how you get back, I didn't want to forget my story. So sharing that with you guys.
Well, to share something with the public as well, we have a misguided opinion of where God is. We think God is in heaven watching over us.
Okay.
No, God's inside of you, leading you and guiding you in the right direction, but you just won't follow because you look at it as your first mind.
Right. A lot of us don't listen to what God is saying to us.
Right.
We don't listen. But when we do listen, it just is so plentiful. And
But it's not really words.
Yeah.
You just have an urge to turn left. But your good educational sense kicks in, and so you're going 3 miles out of the way. You only got 3 blocks to go straight ahead.
Yeah.
Oh man, I almost made that great mistake.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that before. I think, in reality, I think God speaks to us individually in different ways.
Right.
Like for me, for example, when God speaks to me, it's like, it's almost like I'm trying to force something to happen, and God will tell me, look, no, no, just stop. And I might say, well, let me just see again. Let me see if this is really the right decision. And boom, there it is. God will reveal to me that, okay, this is not a good decision for you to make, Joy. So I think he speaks to us in different ways. I think he speaks to each person in a different way.
You got to know what that way is.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And you know what, W? I think you...
Can you hold that for a second? He wanted us to go to a commercial.
Okay.
Remember what you want to say now. Don't blame it on me if you forget.
I'm not gonna have a singing moment.
Okay. We'll be right back after these messages.
Why? Why?
Why are you following me?
Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous?
Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling the gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed?
Why can I breathe?
Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target?
Why?
Why? Why? I know why. And it has to stop.
It must stop.
Because I have dreams.
Because I can change the world.
Because I will make a difference. Because I have a family.
Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend.
I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son.
Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life
life matters.
All lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Tropical world. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
What's it like working with your family? Good question.
Right, great question. Original Soul Vegetarian was established over 38 years ago from our parents, so we're second generation owners.
Back then in the 80s, nobody knew what vegan looked like.
But if you say, oh, this is barbecue, they'll eat it and say, oh, it's good.
Original Soul Vegetarian has been an anchor in this community. At least 90% of our clientele aren't vegans.
It has helped the community a lot with being aware of healthy eating and healthier options.
Most of everything that we sell is sourced locally, and it's all made in-house because it's just not about food for us. Your health is your wealth. Just add something healthy to what you're eating. You're gonna feel better.
Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
No, I'm scared.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
we went out to her son graduated. Beautiful graduation. I taped it. It was a nice show of it. And then they had an extended award given for the recruits, and they had a big show about appointing sergeants, lieutenants, and captains, and deputy chiefs. But guess what? The young man that should be the superintendent of police, Fred Waller.
Of Chicago Police.
Right. He's the chief of patrol right now, which means he's chief of everything. Really. And
what's the name again?
His name is Fred Waller.
Fred what?
Waller.
Fred Waller.
Right. His father was my theater operator.
Okay.
He operated all the equipment in the theater.
Yeah, did somebody tell Lori Lightfoot Mayor Lightfoot to put this guy down?
Well, he's been the chief of patrol for now 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That's he was appointed by one of those guys. I think the guy from New York. What's his name? He decided to run for mayor because he got fired.
Oh yeah. But I don't know, man. These folks come and go.
But Fred came into Meniere's affair one day, and I saw this guy walk by me, chief of patrol on his back. He had his uniform on, and I said, "Wow, young police officer, chief." And he went back with Meniere, and Meniere said, "Well, let me introduce you to W.L. Lillard." And he said, "W.L. Lillard?" He said, "I know W.L. Lillard." He said, "Where is he?" "He's up front there. You just passed him." So then Meniere came up and got me. Said, "Somebody want to meet you." So I went back, and when this guy turned around, his name, Fred Waller. I said, "Man, you're not Fred Waller. I know Fred Waller." He said, "Yeah, I know you know my dad." He said, I used to watch you. I used to come to your theater and go upstairs and watch all the shows. That's why I saw Shaft." He saw Shaft in my theater.
Once again, it's that spirit of giving back. Now, here's a young man who's considered the number 2 person in the Chicago Police Department, right?
Right.
He would be number 2. And he gave an incident, he gave a report from his experience, that he came to your place and you allowed him to sit there and watch Shaft and how much that meant to him. Once again, giving. And that's the whole thing. And it's the young people need to, that's why I talked about the young man. But giving, man.
Martin, this story is he was only maybe 6 or 7 years old when he was going there with him.
Yeah, but look what you gave him. Look what you gave him. You had a positive relationship with his father. You worked with his father. He saw the interaction between you and your father. He saw what you were giving to the community. He saw you from many perspectives. That has an impact on young people in terms of what you put out there. What you put out there is what you get back.
We had so many security officers at that time that we had every day there was at least 300 or 400 police officers. Security officers who were not on duty. So they'd be sitting around the theater.
Yeah.
The gangs had taken over the theater before I bought it.
Yeah.
We cleaned it out.
Yeah.
You had people, used to coming back again because now it's clean. No nothing, because we always got 200 or 300 security officers just sitting around watching movies. And one day, the vice lords in K-Town or something, the K-Town hustlers or whatever they call themselves, they got into an argument. He was telling me, "Hey man, take your head off, I can't see. This is my head, look around it." So they got in an argument about the hat, So the guy behind the guy with the hat on said, K-Town, stand up. They all stood up. Maybe 25 or 30 guys stood up. Then the other one said, Vice Lord, stand up. About 25 or 30 of them stood up. One of the guys stood up and said, W.L. Lillard, stand up. Man, 300 or 400 people stood up and all the little punks stood down.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and it's once again, you know, I mean, I want people, I mean, I think that this whole thing about giving is so important. It really is. You know, you can give out negative vibes, you can get out positive vibes, you can give up yourself, you can not give up yourself, but that bottom line is about giving. Yeah. It's about giving. Mm-hmm. And as you go through your chronological stages, mm-hmm. you and I have been blessed that we had to go through a few chronological stages. Reflect back on that, you gave a great example of giving. Now this young man is the number 2 man, but he can always come back and, W.L., you gave me this, you helped, you gave that. That's you know, that's something to look back on.
I want to give him the superintendent.
Oh yeah. And hey, we may give it to him. We may give it to him. You know, we may give it to him. You know, you never know what's happening. But the bottom line is, he crossed paths with you when he was a boy. And look where he's at now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But he remembered the seeds of giving that you planted. If we can do nothing else in this season, plant seeds of giving. Mm-hmm. All of our relationships need to be better. First of all, with yourself, husband, wife, children, family, friends, etc. That we develop a giving relationship. That don't mean I'm gonna give you my last dime. It don't look like that. But it means that if I engage you, my choice is to give my best to you. God gives his best every day. God don't miss a beat. Every day God is giving mankind, humanity. Every day God he don't miss a beat. He don't miss a beat. Every day he gives.
But Joy, why you sitting so quiet?
I'm just listening right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm also thinking a little bit about our church. You know, Avalon Park Community Church. I'm thinking a little bit about our program that's coming up this Sunday, where we're going to have a youth day, and we're going to have lots of kids. And I'm thinking about some of the things that
what time will it be?
Planned. Oh, that's
regular time.
Regular time. Yeah.
10:45.
Oh, the youth program.
It'll be youth. Yes.
Well, let me ask you, before I interject, what we're doing. Our focus is to go into the new year of that church, and we're asking people to bring a young person to church on Sunday. Mm-hmm. See, if you're going to rebuild anything, you have to do it. You're going to have to do it with the young, and so that's why we are developing, focusing our ministry on young people now, going to get them. So we're asking people. I said, if you got to adopt a child that day, bring a child to church. And I said, now, be careful, just don't snatch anybody's children. You know, humans. There's some issues there. But bring a child to church Sunday at Avalon Park at 10:45, because our focus now is on these young people, seeing the relevance of the church, seeing the relevance of the church in the world they live in today, and the church now becoming more focused that we must give the right teaching, information, education to our people. Right. Because, you know, we have given a lot of miseducation out here, but we must give the correct education across the board in our community. So, I mean, that's where we're at. That's why I'm talking about we're developing a very giving ministry, W.L., whereby we're not trying to, you know, bribe people to come to church. Yeah. But it is a church where we give, and we give our best. But I as a person, as I grow, I'm learning to give my best. Hey, Debbie, I was thinking about my daughter this morning. Man, I ain't seen my daughter up at 7 o'clock in the morning in 100 years. So I was in the back sweeping. I was cleaning up, and she came, looking for me. Dad, where you at? Where you at? So I had some things there for my grandson, and I said to myself, one thing my children will always be able to say, that I was a giving father, and I like that. One thing about him, if he say he gonna do something, he gonna do it, and that's very important for your children to remember you like that. Not that you, I mean, that you gave your best, that you gave your best to them. That's all you can do. I'm giving you my best. Same way in any kind of relationship, that I'm giving you my best. Now, you don't expect perfection now. I ain't there yet. But I'm giving you my best. And as we walk through this life, this plane right here, live your life giving your best. Live your life. What's wrong with living your life in greatness?
Right.
What's wrong with living your life in excellence? I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, is that a sin, WL? I mean,
Nothing
is that a sin to
whatsoever.
live your life in greatness?
No.
Okay. But some people think it's a sin because I want to live my life in excellence. It doesn't mean that I'm a snob, my nose is up, I'm bending. This is how, just like you said, no. When you said, man, I did a radical change and I decided that I wanted to become a vegan. And I saw what it was best for me, my health, and then for others. This is how I live my life. I want to live my life in greatness. I want to live my life in excellence. That's how God created you. That's why He gave you this life. God gives us life. We were given this life because all of us were strong enough to live it. Because we know we're in a lot of competition to get to this plane. You got a whole lot of people you competing with in the birth process, to get to this plane.
But
that's an accomplishment in itself.
Most of my life has been more or less co-opted by the Spirit of God.
Yeah.
This is why, I feel everybody has the same thing, but they don't know it, and they won't show it. They don't try to deal with it. God's in heaven. No, God's not in heaven. God's in all of us.
But the question is, do I give myself my very best? You got to give yourself something too.
No, actually, just follow the Spirit.
Well, we know that, but we know, but at the same time, the Spirit can't work with you if you ain't willing to have some cooperation.
If you don't know,
give and take.
If you don't know that the Spirit is attempting to lead you.
Well, the divine spark got to be lit. It's there, and the environments can, as they say, if you want to destroy a person, break the spirit. Break the spirit. Break the spirit.
How do you break the spirit?
Oh, man.
They have to allow you to break the spirit.
They have to allow you to break the spirit.
There's a system. There are systems in place that are designed to break it. Now, some people kind of hard to break. But the act, look here. The system breaks you down every day. You're going to pay taxes. You're going to do this. You got to work. You got to do that. But when you decide to say, guess what? I'm going to live life on my own terms. I'm not going to break the law, but I'm going to live life on my own terms. And there are some people who are very effective in living life on their own terms. They're not trying to. It's how do you navigate? How do you? So giving back to yourself is very important. Give yourself all the key elements that you need, that you might be able to prosper. And I didn't say survive, prosper. And prosperity don't mean dollars and cents. Prosperity in friendships. Prosperity in relationships. It's the reciprocal thing of giving. But when you give to yourself, some people don't know how to give to themselves. I mean, give yourself time to be alone. Give yourself time to grow as a person. Give yourself time to grow in relationships. It's about giving. It's self-giving too.
Okay, let me flip that.
Go ahead.
Everything you need is already inside of you when you're in the belly.
We know that.
When you're in the belly.
It's given to you by nature. I'm going to use this word again, given.
Okay. But then, actually, how many of us have really paid attention to the fact that you were told at some point in your life that if you had a baby in your belly, talk to that baby while it's there. You start training them at that point. And you're letting them know how strong and how healthy they are and how intelligent they are. They know how to go out and find what they're looking for. Anytime they're looking for anything, they don't need somebody to tell them spell boy or say your ABCs. You know, I had a little daughter. I got a little granddaughter who I think she was 2 years old, and she was with me, really, because her mother, Levita's child, youngest baby. Well, not the youngest now. She has a boy, but she was 2 years old, 3 months off from 3, and she took her to a daycare school, and the teacher said, "No, man, we can't have her. She got to be 3 years old. She got to be 4 years old. 4 years old, and she's not even 3 yet." She said, "Yeah, but Levita, you know how she is. She's not a con, but she can explain things. She explained how important it was for her to go to work, earn a living, to take care of her children, and she needs. You know, I'm not asking you to babysit. Charge me for what you charge me, or whatever you want to charge me for. It's a preschool. That's what it was, preschool." She said, "Well, I can't charge this. This is and I can't take a child this young. She's not even 3 years old yet." And she said, "Look at this." She told her, "Count to 10, baby." She said, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She said, "No, you missed one. Do it again." She said, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She said, "Okay, you missed again." She said, "Let me show you." She put 10 blocks down with each one with a number on it, right? She said, "Here, I want you to count each one of these blocks. Touch each one and count each one, because you keep missing one." She said, "Okay." She said, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And she said, "Wait a minute, wait. You knew what that was?" She said, "Uh-huh." "Can you say it?" "Mm-hmm." "Let me hear you say it." She said, "Uh-uh." She said, "Why not?" "I don't like the word." So she said, "Is it 3?" She said, 5? "Is it 4? She said, "I want to take her in because she can help me with these other children." So she took her in, you know, before she was 3.
Wow.
Because she had that much intelligence. But I remember when I was 3 years old, I heard the message of where education is. Then it reminded me that I heard my grandmother tell my mother she was going to kill her if she did something. And I said, that couldn't be true. I said, I don't know how it got into my head. But I heard it. And finally, later in years, I told her, "I never told Mother what you did." She said, "What do you mean? You never told Mother what I did?" "Remember, she said she would kill you if you did it again." And I waited for her to say, "Boy, you don't know what you're talking about." But she said, "How the hell did you know that?" I said, "I was there." "You were in my belly." I said, "I was there."
Interesting.
And she stopped messing with me about it.
Real interesting.
About going to school, because at 3 years old, when I heard the school teacher who lived across the street, my grandmother allowed me to go and play with her kids, and because this is high society, you know, a school teacher was high society at that time.
Right.
And over with the child, her kids, one was 10 and one was 8. And the 10-year-old, I like to be around him because he was more active. But he went in one night, asked his mother. One day he asked his mother, "Mom, give me the formula to this problem. Just give me the formula. I'm not asking for the answer. Just give me the formula, and I'll get the answer." She said, "You're going to get more than it if you don't get out of here and go do your work."
With that, I'm going to ask you, enjoy this question. And you can either sentence or just one word. What is the best thing you can give the world? What is it that you can give the world? What is it that you can give the world? That's the question for both of them. What is it that you can give the world? What is it that you
I was
can give
telling
the
you about
community?
one day until you cut me off.
No, well, no. The people want to know now.
Okay, well, listen.
Okay, well, let's finish it. We talking about giving, right?
Listen.
Okay.
He came back. She told him, get away from here. Go do your work. And he tried to convince her. She said, get out of here now. If you go do your work now and get it over, or you get your butt whipped. And, you know, anyway, he walked away crying. And her neighbor jumped all over her and said, girl, what's wrong with you? You're a school teacher. You could have the smartest kids in school if you just give them a little hand. But I never see you help them. I never see you helping them. You always tell them to go away. And she laughed. She said, girl, I do have the smartest kids in school. She said, I employ my colleagues. Do not spoon feed my children. I told them where their education is. It's inside of them already. All they got to do is reach in and bring it out and deal with it. Whatever you need, whatever part you need. And she said, I think you're crazy. Anyway, the boy come back. He was sitting there sniffing. And I internalized what I heard her say. I looked at this, and it came to me. I said, try this. He pushed my hand away. Boy, you ain't but 3 years old. You don't know what you're talking about. So I pretended I was going to cry. He said, okay, come on, show me what you're talking about. And as I was showing him, I saw his eyes getting bigger. I said, okay, I must be right, right? Finally, he pushed my hand away, finished the problem, took it to his mom. Said, am I right? She looked at her, I told you can do it. So, and she gave him okay, you know, now go back and finish your work. Come on back and let me know, let me see it. He came back and he finished it. But meanwhile, the other woman said, I see what you mean. She said, show me that so I can teach my children. She said, I can't show you anything. All I can do is tell you that education is inside of you. What you get from out here is indoctrination. They're indoctrinating you into something that you really don't want to be. Like they've indoctrinated us into believing that we gotta do everything but for each other. Okay? In 93, I think it was, 92 or 93, I was told by the U.S. Labor Department that blacks in America, in fact, he showed me documented proof that blacks in Chicago was making and spending $50 billion a year. And he said every $1 billion creates 50,000 full employment jobs. He said, so I said, wow, man, if we just spend half of that in our community, if we would just spend half of that in our community, we would have 1,250,000 or so jobs. And we don't have that many people unemployed. So we could have affirmative action in our community, you know? I said, but, so that's when I started the Straight Talk Economic Roundtable, based around that concept. All right? Now, the fact is, instead of us working toward that means of helping to support one another, of shopping with one another, or shopping in the community, okay, if you're scared to shop with a black person, there's a white company in the community. Spend your money in the community. If you spend that money in the community, we'll have neighborhoods to have employment agencies in each one of the neighborhoods. Okay? The employment agency, anybody employed in any of these stores must come to this agency. If we find someone working in the store who did not come through the agency, then we will not shop with you. You might well close down shop and leave. So that's what I tried to effectuate that with the people who were, you know, college graduates, had businesses, but they were stupid. Didn't have a clue of how. I said, look, a business person is the leader of the community, not the politician. Okay, politicians are your servants. Business people are your saving grace. Okay, you shop with them, you create jobs with them, and you can always go to them because they are the leaders. The politicians, if you give them enough strength, the politician would know that the business people are the leader, and everything will fall in line, and everything will be straight. And couldn't I get those business people to see that?
Look, brother. You had a man named Robert Smith. Went to a graduation at Morehouse College, gave a speech, and then told them, your debts are forgiven. He gave a group of young black men an opportunity to take the world by the horn. You remember that, right? The billionaire, the black billionaire. We got quick memory. See, we don't remember things like that. One of the most significant things that happened in 2019 was a black billionaire went to a black school at Morehouse College.
I know.
Remember?
He gave all that money.
And he relieved them boys from debt. Every young Morehouse graduate from the class of 2019 walks out of college debt free.
That should not have happened.
What do you mean that should have not happened? They should have been stuck with student loans.
Huh?
They should have been stuck with student loans.
No.
Well, what should have not happened?
It should, listen, when you give somebody something, they feel that's what they got that coming.
Not necessarily.
You know, Morehouse
so.
College don't mean anything. Those colleges don't mean anything. Get them out of there, period.
Yeah, that's not my point. You know, well, our opinion is different. I'm a graduate of a historical black college, so I know what that means to graduate from college. I know what that means to be the first person in my family to graduate from college. I know the historical significance of the black college and what the black college gave to me and gave to my people.
What it's done to you and everyone else who followed that concept is indoctrinated you into this society.
It didn't indoctrinate me into a damn thing. All I wanted was that degree to do over here. I would never buy that. Give me the paper.
Wait a minute,
and I'm
you said the wrong word.
Yeah, I said the right word. I said the right word. Didn't do a damn thing. Look, the day I walked in school, I wanted out. Kindergarten. Let me out. I shouldn't be here. I'm in the wrong place. But I did what I had to do.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I sucked it in and did what I had to do. But the bottom line is he gave them a new fire. Because what he did, he broke a certain shackle on them. Because them boys now are really free. WL, the best thing we must do, Joy WL, is to encourage, to show our young people how to navigate the system, the status quo. I can give you something. I give you this knowledge when you use this knowledge. It's the same thing what God gives us. He innately gives us this. He gives us all these.
How many students was it?
I don't know.
It was a lot. And it just so happens that my daughter's best friend, Jesse, happened to be part of that group. He actually received that as well.
You don't know how many it was approximately?
I'm not sure how big the class was. He hasn't told me anything, but he's going to school to be a doctor. He went to school to be a doctor, so that should tell you something right there. So I'm sure he...
Doctors are stupid.
Expensive. Probably expensive.
Doctors are stupid.
No. See, this is a smart young man. He's smart, he's polite, he's thoughtful, and he's very caring of my daughter, and they're best friends only. So...
But Debbie, the whole thing is that giving our children the basic tools. You know, all we can do is just share. Let me put this out here. Let me see how you respond to it. And it's the same thing. God gives his best to us today, every day. And what's wrong with giving our best back in all that we do? We ain't going to be perfect. We're going to fall short. We're going to do all that. But when it becomes a practice, that's a whole different thing.
We gotta close down before Tony have a fit back there.
Come on, Tony. Come on out there with us.
I think he's texting me now to say I told you 9 times. The show is over.
Yeah, show is over. Great show.
So say good night to the public, will you please?
I'd like to say good night to everyone, and I'd also like to express one more time, if everyone could please try to come out to see the youth of Avalon Park Community Church next Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday at 10:45. Next Sunday for me, but so that's all I wanted to say, and to have a good night.
Anthony.
Gabrielle, always an honor to be here. Thank you for your years of giving. You all continue to give unselfishly. Everybody, give your best.
My best is get a job.
What about two?
If necessary.
Yeah.
But learn the truth of life. You got to support one another in order to be supported. We'll see you this time again tomorrow.
Funny.